better. Big-time ball game tonight in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. It is two big-time programs doing work led by youngsters. Oklahoma State taking on the Marquette Golden Eagles from Fiserv Forum. Steely Dan song, Hey 19, we've got that in spades. Two 19-year-old studs. Coach Lab.
Well, Cade Cunningham, a program-changing prospect at 6'8", can see over the top of defenses. He's strong off the bounce, can finish and elevate as well at the rim, and special talent.
And he's not the only babe in the woods who'll be doing work tonight. How about Dawson Garcia?
Well, Garcia, the ideal stretch four, 6'11", long and lanky, skilled enough to maneuver off the bounce, can play over the top, and fits the Marquette balanced approach this year. The hub of the wheel with the spokes moving on the perimeter.
Cade Cunningham has played a pair of games. You can call him kind of a point forward. He can do every single thing you'd want to do on a basketball floor.
Yeah, wisdom that defies his age. The best decision maker, can improve on the defensive side of the ball, but no weakness offensively.
And Dawson Garcia, you got to like a 6'11" lefty.
Well, just the ability to tickle the twine from long range, but also can be a presence on the interior, able to draw fouls and pass the ball out of the post.
Take a look at the two 19-year-olds and what they're all about so far early in their careers.
Well, again, program-changing prospects. When you sign elite players, a consensus #1 player in Cade Cunningham could be the #1 pick in next year's NBA draft. And, of course, Dawson Garcia, the ability to lead his program forward.
Let's do it. Tuesday evening, hoops from Milwaukee. We have got two teams, both undefeated so far in this season. We've got the Cowboys of Oklahoma State. We've got the Golden Eagles of Marquette. Welcome, everyone. Get ready to take on Marquette are the Oklahoma State Cowboys. This will be the 6th meeting between these two schools. The only time Marquette has won was the last time they met, back in 2007. Take a look at our starting lineup, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Steve Lavin, your thoughts?
Well, with the Cowboys, keep an eye on Isaac Likely, a very intelligent player, helps on the boards, a lockdown defender as well. He'll be critical in OSU with the short bench. He has to stay out of foul trouble. And how about Theo John? A lot of talk about Dawson Garcia, but Theo John is the veteran. He's the anchor for this Marquette team. His maturity, his bearing on the court, and leadership, so important to Marquette.
With Steve Lavin, I'm Eric Collins. Third game for both these schools, Oklahoma State and Marquette. Oklahoma State starts on offense. It's their precocious freshman, Cade Cunningham, up high with the dribble. Dump down, alley-oop a little bit too strong. And will come the other way. Quick trigger. Jamal Kane, the misfire. Ball is loose, tapped around, and it's Oklahoma State basketball. Now the 4th year in Stillwater, Mike Boynton has done a really good job, obviously, recruiting. The fact that he was able to lure Cade Cunningham to town is a big, big deal for his program. And a travel, so sloppy play early. There's Steve Wojciechowski now in his 7th season at Marquette. Doing good work, 118 wins so far through his 6+ seasons.
Well, you get the sense of Steve Wojciechowski enjoying working with this group of players, and he's acclimated well, more comfortable with each passing year, and big aspirations this year for the Golden Eagles.
Playing without Marcus Howard, nation's leading scorer from a year ago. But so far they haven't missed a beat on offense. 2 big point totals in the first 2 games, led by that man, the freshman Dawson Garcia.
Well, and Garcia does that well, Eric. Straight line drives to the basket. Very efficient with his footwork. He's got the long strides, 2 bounces, and puts it down off the window. Also has a wiry strength. He can absorb a hit, still finish, keeps the eye on the rim. Good look.
Always seems, too, that when you play against the lefty, no matter how many times you're told in the scouting report this guy's left-handed, until you actually see it one time, you forget about it.
Yeah, it is a bit unorthodox, and it gives lefties an advantage.
Here's Cunningham, 6'8", 220 pounds, 19 years of age. Really good handle.
See the quick help there defensively by Marquette.
Cunningham, the shake and hit.
Well, that's what you have to do. When teams swarm or show you a crowd, the equivalent of 8 in the box in football against a good running back, you've got to be able to make shots from distance. That'll loosen that defense up some and allow for some seams or gaps to dribble into.
Garcia picked his dribble up early, and being shaded by Cunningham, he's forced into the travel.
Here's Cunningham, just nice footwork and that one bounce, stop and pop. Good elevation, excellent rotation off those middle 3 fingers, a soft touch.
And you just saw Cunningham with that committed defense to force the travel. Just getting started. Big 12, Big East battle. Dump down, Cunningham. Good high-low.
And we're seeing the versatility here as Coach Boynton deploying Cunningham on different spots in the floor. We've seen him work with the ball in his hands. There he was working without the ball down low, taking advantage of that size and finish.
He's played 2 college games, has Cade Cunningham. 20 points plus each time. Kane. 3-pointer Jamal Kane, the senior from Pontiac, Michigan.
Yeah, good defense, good offense on that possession. That one more pass leads to the open 3 ball. Marquette coming in the game shooting 42% from long range, and it's because they've shared the ball. What do you know? Theo John continuing to show his maturity and intelligence. There's a playmaker out of the post.
Oklahoma State wins over UT Arlington and Texas Southern. This is by far their biggest test. Isaac Likely. Now Cunningham. Shot clock is down to 6. First misfire for Cunningham.
Yeah, good defense by Marquette. They've been outstanding defensively here early in the season, holding opponents to 28% from the field.
Deep 3, Garcia, wide left, one and done, rebounded Likely, but a tangle up in the backcourt, and that is Caleb Boone, one of a set of twins, Caleb and Keelan Boone, both big part of what Oklahoma State are doing, and Caleb gets called for the foul.
Just going back to those numbers, both these teams strong defensively here early in the season. Granted, it's a small sample size, but you're going to see both these teams locked in defensively throughout.
And a whistle in transition. I think they called a carry. So a turnover gives it back over to Marquette. Look at that, 4 turnovers in the first 3 minutes, basically, for Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State in their man-to-man defense.
And they get it right back.
First personal, second team foul.
And an offensive foul on Dawson Garcia. So youngsters, we keep talking about youth and precocity, but mistakes here early.
Well, and Garcia there extends that forearm some to try and separate from Cunningham. So Cunningham there moving the feet well, cut off the angle, not allowing Garcia to get around him.
Kane lost it in the corner. It stays with Marquette.
Yeah, you see that smothering Cowboys defense there. Moving the feet, active hands, tracing the basketball effectively, not allowing Marquette to window shop or be comfortable on the perimeter.
3 seconds to shoot for Marquette. Samir Torrance trigger the inbounds. Kane lost it. They're not going to get a shot up. Actually, would have counted if it went. Shot clock violation. Oklahoma State basketball. Good defense.
You know, to this point, Marquette hasn't faced a team that has the foot speed, the quickness, and the length of the Cowboys. It takes you a while, even though you see it on film, You try and simulate it in practices, but at the end of the day, until you face it and adjust in terms of dealing with this pressure, it's unnerving. It can be disconcerting.
Justin Lewis, DJ Carton come into the game for the first time for Marquette. One and done. Keelan Boone, the miss.
A good box out there by Marquette.
McEwen, high arcing shot along the baseline, his first scratch.
And I like the little hesitation. Just changed pace enough, surveyed the floor, saw the opening. Why not?
Post up of Cunningham, and he is held by McEwen.
All about the freshman, Eric Garcia. Off the window. Cunningham down low. Mouse in the house. Give me the rock. Timeout.
To Wisconsin, hard on the shores of mighty Lake Michigan. Look at the balance intact. What a difference from a year ago for Marquette. Last year it was one-man band, Marcus Howard. Not anymore.
Yeah, Marquette more difficult to prepare for and to play against this year because of their balance. And you're seeing it early. Small sample size, but the numbers impressive. 87 points per game. Efficiency, they're shooting 48% plus from the field overall and 42% from the three-point line. Why? Because when you can put it down low and play inside out, when you can distribute it, there's a steal. Carton going to pick it up. Opportunistic run out here for Marquette.
Oh, DJ Carton.
Okay.
Didn't expect that. Sophomore explodes and finishes with two hands, and he's fouled.
Sneaky, and he chose to take off. Kind of a long jump here. Over the top.
So DJ Carton, the transfer from Ohio State, give him the boom, and he'll have a free throw.
One foul has been assessed against Oklahoma State.
Oh, they called a flagrant one on Oklahoma State.
Have to see that again from another angle.
I guess Carton was whacked in the head and neck area.
Give the officials credit, they had position. Of course, midair, always dangerous.
Yeah.
Don't think it was intentional, but because Carton took the ball and got up so quick to flush it, he protected the ball, and as a result, picked up the foul.
So it's a 4-point possession already for Marquette, and they still have the basketball.
Well, keep in mind, Carton comes off the bench, so the number of weapons at Wojciechowski's disposal this year, the quality of the depth, a real difference.
Now Carton directing traffic. Gets a screen from John. McEwen may have shuffled the shoes, nothing called. Shot clocked out at 2, has to fire. Offensive rebound, Kane is denied. And on the follow, Justin Lewis is fouled.
Well, good aggressiveness there by Marquette to get on the glass. Karam comes off. Kane not able to finish, but Lewis right there as they play volleyball on the backboards, and sometimes that best shot is a missed shot if you've got the length and quickness to get the high percentage look on the second shot.
Freshman Lewis. So, Coach, this has already been 5 points this time down the floor. Got a chance to make it 6 if Lewis can hit this next freebie.
Oh, the turnovers here early have hurt the Cowboys. 6 turnovers. Those are empty possessions that'll kill you. Here's Cunningham off the bounce.
And a traveling violation on Cunningham.
And terrific defense in transition by Marquette. Not only getting back, setting their defense, but also showing that crowd on all Cunningham catches. He's looking at 2, 3 Marquette jerseys. Never allowing them to get comfortable or have space.
Matthew Alexander Moncrief, ballyhooed freshman, has come in for Oklahoma State. He wears number 12. Justin Lewis, just in time, rips it from distance.
Boy, you could hear it rip the cords.
Long 2, it's a 14-4 lead for Marquette.
Just nice little two-man game. Kane with the give up. Bottoms. Timeout.
We made USAA insurance for members like Martin, an Air Force veteran made of doing what's right, not what's easy. So when a hailstorm hit, USAA reached out before he could even inspect the damage.
That's how you do it right.
USAA Insurance is made just the way Martin's family needs it. With hassle-free claims, he got paid before his neighbor even got started. Because doing right by our members, that's what's right. USAA. What you're made of, we're made for.
Justin Lewis had his toe on the line a moment ago, so it's a long two. Marquette has gone on a 12-0 run over the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Let's see what Oklahoma State can do after the timeout.
I like the schemes defensively by Marquette to this point against Cunningham. Let's see what Oklahoma State counters with, Eric.
Straight on look, up and down. First three-pointer of the game for Oklahoma State.
Well, that's a good answer coming out of the timeout. A little counter punch by Oklahoma State.
That's the first shot from Farron Flavors, and it's a three. So maybe that'll stabilize things now for Oklahoma State. Theo John tried to find Kane, and the pass is too hot to handle.
Flavors just lines one up. Carton a little late with the closeout and the high hand contest.
They got Farron Flavors, who was a grad transfer, spent last year at Cal Baptist, which is out in the WAC. They got him for just that skill. Lights out, deep shooter, Farron Flavors.
Well, shooters distort opponents' defenses, and it complements the rest of the offensive parts on the floor. Now you've got greater gaps or seams to drive the ball into, to play draw and kick or take it to the rim. Also gives the bigs more space, time to operate down low when you've got those shooters on the perimeter.
Flavors looking for two in a row. Back of the iron, and another foul. Is this going to be on Cunningham? No, they call it on Matthew Alexander Moncrief.
But Oklahoma State does not have the depth, Eric, as we take a look one more time. Carton there with a better closeout. That high hand makes a big difference. Not much contact on that push-off, but there was a slight push-off, advantage, disadvantage to be able to secure that ball. Good call by the officials.
Dawson Garcia back into the game for Marquette. Carton gets a screen. Garcia open look. Instead, the dump down. Good catch by Lewis. Triple team and lost it.
Yeah, put the ball on the floor in a crowd. You want to pass out of a crowd, not dribble.
Cunningham whips a pass. Likely reverses. Cunningham, his first three. And it's Marquette basketball. They had a couple good looks. Missed opportunity for the Cowboys. Last year, obviously, doesn't matter much anymore for Oklahoma State. They've changed their rosters so much. But they're a good club last year, 18-14, 7-11 in Big 12 play.
Well, and keep in mind, they were 7-0 when Likely went out with mononucleosis. And then when he came back, they won 7 of 9 down the stretch before the season was canceled. So dramatically different teams when they had Likely's services, because he influences the game at both ends.
Dexter Akano comes in for his first playing time in his college career. Redshirt freshman for Marquette. Just got cleared earlier today. Offensive rebound, stick back Justin Lewis.
Lewis active, taking advantage of his foot speed and his length.
Rondell Walker into the game for Oklahoma State. That's his first shot, and it doesn't get past the front of the iron. Carton left alone. This is Bryce Williams, transfer from Ole Miss, fumbles it off his shoe. Numbers for Marquette. And Dawson Garcia, the chin up.
A nice dime by DJ Carton there. A look away pass to spoon feed the streaking Garcia, who puts one down. This is the best Marquette defense I've seen in the 7 years Steve Wojciechowski's been at Marquette as the head coach.
Cunningham, the misfire.
It's a sustained defense on every possession.
Bad pass picked off by Walker. Rondell Walker will go to the free throw line. So we've got free throws coming for Oklahoma State. Just getting started. So far, so good for the locals. Dawson, Garcia, and Marquette up by 11. 19-7 lead for Marquette over Oklahoma State. With Steve Lavin, I'm Eric Collins. Coach, what's been the big story for Marquette so far early in this game?
Well, Marquette with some active, alert, aggressive defense, and Oklahoma State with some miscues. But at the end of it, those turnovers, those stops, those runouts are a result of the carelessness of the Cowboys in terms of taking care of the ball. But give Marquette credit. They're number one in the country, Eric, in field goal percentage defense, holding opponents to 26% on the year, and no different tonight. 30% from the field for Oklahoma State, 25% from the three-point line. So Coach Wojciechowski has amplified, emphasized defense, and it's paid dividends here in the early season for Marquette.
We have a programming note to tell you about. In that last commercial break, Justin Lewis got an extra point. Justin Lewis was credited with a long two. They said he had a sneaker on the line. That was earlier in this half. It was reviewed and then said, you know what, he's actually behind the line. So Marquette gets an extra point. They now lead 19-7, make it 19-8 as Rondell Walker hits the first of two free throws.
Some good deductive work there, like Scotland Yard or Sherlock Holmes. Impressive.
Walker 1 out of 2.
Oklahoma State off the missed free throw, little 2-2-1. Full court press. Trying to disrupt Marquette. Not let them walk into their offensive sets. Not let them flow. Try and get them out of sync. And there it is.
Bad pass picked off by Walker. Likely the leave and score the goal. Matthew Alexander Moncrief, his first field goal of the game.
Well, turning the tables. Marquette with the turnover, and it leads to the run out, the easy basket for the Cowboys. Back in that press. Again, a different look. Zone press to zone on the half court. If you're Marquette, you want to stay aggressive. Keep your ball movement. Don't get paralysis from analysis trying to figure out the zone. Just stay aggressive with your concepts.
Shot fake. Shot is short by Akano. Dexter Akano missed the first two games, but he's got a chance to be special. They really like his body and the way he's improved over the last year. Likely inside, score the goal.
Likely stays low to the ground there, is able to turn the corner and get to the rim. Puts Oklahoma State back in that full court press. And then here this zone defense. Trying to level off Marquette penetration, protect the rim, not foul. I like the call with the short bench by Mike Boynton.
Akano lost it again. That's a couple of turnovers for the youngster.
And 3 shutouts.
Score the goal and a foul. Flying through the air, Rondell Walker. Chance for a three-point play.
Well, a great sequence coming off the timeouts. You get 3 stops, and that leads to 3 buckets. In transition, you got numbers, fill the lane, share the sugar, and here come the Cowboys.
Walker, part of that freshman class that everyone's talking about with Matthew Alexander, Moncrief, and Cade Cunningham. They've got a chance to be special together. And we've got, I think this is probably taking a look at the foul, just like we saw earlier when we had a flagrant foul called against Oklahoma State. This time, a possible foul against Marquette is being determined. But let's talk about these freshmen. Wow, it's nice to have names like that contributing so early in one's freshman year.
Well, it gives you a future. You know, your fan base, the shareholders, so to speak, of an athletic program know that in every sport, the lifeblood of true success is recruiting. And so there's no doubt Cade Cunningham will lead to other great players coming to Oklahoma State. That's how it works. Now let's take another look here. That 2-on-1 break.
Call on the floor stands. Common foul.
Common foul.
Oklahoma State.
I think the hair of Rondell Walker that was blown in the breeze. I think that made it look like the foul was more significant than it was.
Yeah, not intentional. Trying for the ball to make a play on the ball. Impressed with the adjustments by Mike Boynton here. Going to that zone press off a missed free throw, interestingly enough. And then back into that zone. And now they're on a run, and that was done during a timeout. So his team responded to the instruction in the timeout, and now it's on Marquette to try and adjust and counterpunch.
Again, it's taken a while for Marquette to figure things out. Shot clock's dipped at below 10.
Well, Marquette with 7 turnovers now, so we could open up a bakery between these two teams here in the first half. The number of turnovers.
John's pass was anticipated by Likely, who bats that out of bounds. Marquette will have exactly 1 second to shoot.
Got to watch the lob play or the quick catch and shoot three. There's the lob.
And it was snipped out by Likely, leads to the run out for Cunningham. Cade Cunningham.
Well, there's that grace and fluidity. All the great ones have it, Eric. There's an ease. Mr. Cunningham. Hello. This is what I do. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. We're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Marquette, Oklahoma State. For those of a certain age, you think Milwaukee, you think Happy Days, you think Richie Cunningham and the Cunningham family. Well, there's a different Cunningham taking up residence in Milwaukee tonight. Cade Cunningham doing work, the 19-year-old freshman, showing everyone what he is all about. And it's going to be another turnover.
Yeah, both these teams now with 8 turnovers apiece. It's been a game of runs, but the runs have been fueled by turning over the opponent and allowing them to get out in transition.
Rondell Walker turned down the corner 3, gets it over to Likely. Straight on look, Bryce Williams. Transfer from Ole Miss, he's a sniper.
And the run continues.
And you could tell how Mike Boynton tried to create this roster this past year, getting 2 grad transfer shooters in Bryce Williams and Farron Flavors to try and help out Cade Cunningham, who he knew would need to have that floor spaced out. Kane. Offensive rebound. Garcia is pushed, and Garcia to the free throw line.
A 13-0 run by the Cowboys, sparked by their full court press, back into their zone defense, and then playing aggressive. Active hands, active feet, tied together defensively, and has really stymied Marquette.
Here's a good look at Dawson Garcia. Played high school ball, Prior Lake, Minnesota. That's suburban Minneapolis, southwest suburb. Downs All-American just like Cade Cunningham. Big deal. Only the 4th time Marquette has ever reeled in a McDonald's All-American after their high school experience.
Boy, the drought continues for Marquette. 13-0 run here, a chance for Oklahoma State to build on it now.
Walker swirls it through. He's been a revelation off the bench. And now the ball's knocked out of bounds by Walker. Both ends of the floor for the freshman. Look at that run. 15 rip.
Well, and the adjustment, which is so important. Mike Boynton prefer to play man-to-man defense, but he's flexible in his thinking and adjust. It's good coaching.
McEwen. Patient offense right there. Theo John finds McEwen. A couple of upperclassmen combining for the bucket.
A good take. Just need to stem the bleeding if you're Marquette.
Oklahoma State playing without Cade Cunningham for the first time, and so far so good. That is a 3-pointer up and down for Bryce Williams.
And that puts them again right back into their 2-2-1 zone press, back into their half-court zone attack.
Torrance can't answer. Likely. Gets it back. schools met back in 2007. Marquette a winner way back when. And we've got a foul away from the ball against Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State beginning to feel it. Torture nets from all angles. Williams, why not? Milk the hot hand. Timeout.
As Roy Rogers would say, it's hard to keep a Cowboy down. How about the Oklahoma State Cowboys? They now lead Marquette by 4, cruising on an 18-4 run.
Well, Cowboys have capitalized on Marquette's turnovers and been able to convert for easy baskets in transition. Then they started to see a bigger basket, and as a result, you shoot the ball with more confidence. Mindset is completely shifted from that last time out when Oklahoma State was shooting 30%, and now you look at their field goal percentage, it's 55%, 42% from the three-point line as well, and they're just playing hot potato right now, looking for each other.
Actually did a good job of weathering the storm, playing without Cade Cunningham, and now Cunningham's going to come back into the game for Oklahoma State. Also into the game for the first time, Bernard Kuma comes into the game. Old school big man, 6'10", 240-pounder. Kuma wears number 25. We'll have free throws here. Theo John at the line. And he has been, what a surprise, the improvement he's made at the free throw line. With that make, he's now 12 for 14 on the season. In his career, left just 54%.
Well, off-season, working on the shot mechanics, getting the reps, and as a result, more confident. And he's improved his perimeter game across the board. Not only his free throw shooting's improved, but he now is a threat from the three-point line. Comfortable. You can run him in a pick and pop. You can run him in a pick and roll. Versatility.
Flavors back into the game. Walker with the left hand. This guy's tough as nails. Chance for a three-point play.
I love the 2-foot jump stop. He sees the baseline. He attacks aggressively. Gathers like a cat, both feet underneath, and that allows him to elevate and take it strong, absorb the hit, and finish. Chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. So important. Young players watching the power of the jump stop. Something so basic but profound in the results it can deliver.
9 points in 6 minutes off the pine for Rondell Walker.
And every time they put it through the net, that allows the Cowboys to set up their three-quarter court zone, force Marquette to use a couple seconds, getting it over half court, and then less time to execute against their half-court zone.
John got an extra possession, and Marquette capitalizes. Kobe McEwen, a three.
And how about Theo John with that alert look out to the three-point line? Love the way he squeezes the ball. Near turnover there on the outlet. But when Theo John grabs the ball, he puts it on his chest, under the chin, with the elbows out, protects it. Understands the value of a possession.
Walker's called for that foul in the backcourt. And because of the bonus situation, we'll come all the way to the other end and have free throws. This will be a 1-and-1 for McEwen.
Shoots the bonus.
McEwen, 2 years at Utah State, 2 years at Marquette. Cunningham, 6'8", 220 pounds, running the point. And he runs into trouble. Offensive foul.
We'll have to get a look. But again, watch the Marquette crowd. 3 jerseys, 3 defenders. There's Theo John, the big, helping. Good call.
Second personal foul on the freshman Cunningham, and he'll have to sit.
Well, and that's why it's so important that you get the body balance, be able to slam on the brakes while maneuvering, and he'll learn with each passing game because of his intelligence. And this is a wonderful experience in terms of the way Marquette is choosing to defend Cunningham, blanketing him with 2 or 3 defenders on all his catches.
Justin Lewis back in the game for Marquette. John. Jump hook, and he spins it through. Theo John. Have a first half, why don't you?
And I like the poise. He didn't rush. He surveyed, took a look, saw the daylight, and soft touch and lift on that hook.
Isaac Likely running the point with Cunningham on the bench. Walker. Pass deflected out of bounds. 9 seconds to shoot for Oklahoma State.
Again, poise, the word when it comes to Theo John. He just looks around, surveys, investigates the opportunity, and says, why not?
Tied at 28, 5:27 remaining, first half. This is Flavors.
Short clock.
Back of the iron, one and done, rebounded Lewis. Chance for Marquette to go back on top.
Playing against a set defense, put some touches on it. Get organized.
Bounce past John. And did he travel? He did.
Just happy feet. Good look, though, offensively. Get the ball to the gut of that zone defense. A good delivery, a pocket pass by Lewis. John didn't put it on the deck, but shuffled the feet.
And turnovers have been an issue for both sides. Likely. Corner three. Shot missed by Boone. And again, Marquette a chance to go back on top. Carton, a former Ohio State Buckeye a year ago, has his pocket picked. Nice play by Bryce Williams. He was out of control, but he knew he had time to figure things out.
Yeah, quick hands on the defense, got out in the open court. Almost turned it over, but again, poised, gathered. Let the defense fly by and lay it up.
Marquette shooting 45% as a club. Just 3 out of 10 from deep. Oh my! Make it 4 out of 11 the hard way. Off the window, Theo John.
A little happy birthday. He's earned it. The upperclassman.
On the year, he's now 2 for 2 from distance.
Love everything about his temperament, his bearing, the selflessness, a great teammate. Here he is again, gobbling up the rebounds like the Cookie Monster.
Marquette the lead in the ball. Carton stops his shoot. One and done. Rebounded Moncrief. Matthew Alexander Moncrief.
A little quick on that three-point shot. Move it, maybe attack the rim first. Give yourself a chance to get fouled.
Boone misses with the left hand.
Impressive pirouette. A little whirling dervish. Just couldn't pay it off.
Playing without Dawson Garcia and doing good work. Golden Eagles back on top. Final 3 minutes of our first half. A lot of dribbling with Carton. Shot clock's down to 4. McEwen. Likely into a thicket of defenders and still scores.
Boy, so shifty at maneuvering in the open court there, Likely with that little inside-outside dribble. And able to get to the rim.
They call him a junkyard dog. A lot of Marcus Smart in him.
You know, talking to Coach Boyd today, it was clear that he's the heart and soul of the team. Offensive foul. Theo John a little frustrated. Going to pick up the offensive foul.
Marquette foul number 4.
Big fella. Why not? I've got these skills. Likely. Right back at you. Little punch. Counter punch. Windy.
1 point lead for the visitors from Stillwater, Oklahoma State. The Cowboys 32-31 for the Marquette Golden Eagles. Steve Lavin, I'm Eric Collins. It was all Marquette early, and then the defense turned up for Oklahoma State, and they came storming right back. Also got good production. 2 players off the bench, Bryce Williams and Rondell Walker. They've got 17 of the 32 points for Oklahoma State.
Well, and it's been a game of runs. And now, these last 2 minutes, 15 seconds, both teams' objectives is try and go into the locker room with a run of their own. and have momentum going into that second half.
Oklahoma State still playing without Cade Cunningham. Went to the bench with 2 personal fouls. Oklahoma State has Donovan Williams into the game for the first time. Donovan Williams wears number 4. Like Cade Cunningham, he is a freshman. Former Mr. Basketball in the state of Nebraska. He and Fred Hoiberg. Shot is missed. Rebound cleared by Justin Lewis.
Here's that push. First 5-6 seconds of the possession. See if you have something. If not, don't force it.
Here's Donovan Williams. And Williams out of control. Garcia forces the miss.
Yeah, again, that's where we've got to read the defense. Both ends there. Teams guilty of poor judgments, bad decisions in the open court. You want to explore, be aggressive, but be on balance when you maneuver so you can make good judgments. If you've got defenders draped on you like a wet towel, that means you've done your job. Kick the ball to the open man. The math is favorable somewhere else on the floor.
McEwen to the line.
Taking over the Cowboys, Rondell Walker.
Rondell Walker back into the game. 9 points in 8 minutes for Walker.
Unusual for McEwen to miss. Highly proficient free throw shooter throughout his career. He gets that one, the soft bounce.
Moncrief. Bryce Williams walled off. Moncrief an opportunity.
Rushed his shot delivery there on the interior.
Catch and shoot. Kane rips the triple.
Well, Marquette gets down the floor, spots up. Important to get organized in transition before the defense gets back in as organized defensively.
Flavors and Williams playing together in the backcourt. They involve Moncrief. Moncrief's had a hard time here in this first half. 1 for 6 shooting the basketball in 13 minutes.
Good defense there by Marquette, though, on the help side, coming to wall up. Another turnover, the 13th turnover for the Golden Eagles.
And a whistle. Did Walker step on the inline? He did. So a turnover for Oklahoma State.
Well, that'll be talked about in both locker rooms. Taking care of the basketball, passing and catching, taking a deep breath, slow down, maneuver, be quick but don't hurry. Because some of these are correctable. They're unforced turnovers.
Garcia's only got 4 points here in our first half. Misfires. And the shot clock is off. Oklahoma State can hold for the final shot of the half. In a game of runs, Marquette took a big lead, then Oklahoma State came storming back. Last couple of minutes, it's been all Marquette. Bryce Williams bangs. And Marquette can't corral the rebound, so Oklahoma State still has possession with a second remaining. Coming up on the Jeep Halftime Report, we'll have Player of the Year candidates. We'll talk big picture, plus we'll have stats and analysis from our first 20 minutes.
I'm going to shade the basket area, look for the lob play. High hands in a stance.
And Flavors didn't get it off. That's the way our first half draws to a close. So both sides undefeated so far in the first week of the regular season. And it's a one-possession game. 35-32 is our score. Stay tuned for the Jeep Halftime Report after the break. Rob Stone, Casey Jacobson, and the great Jimmy Jackson.
When you look here, second chance points, Eric, 8-0 in terms of putbacks and create some buckets. The key is limiting turnovers. Both these teams going into the second half can't afford the empty possessions. Got to get looks at the basket.
Well, it was a half of runs, no doubt about it, what we saw in 20 minutes.
Yeah, the turnovers and some good defense combined for both these teams having runs, the punch and counter punch And those turnovers lead to these runouts, these easy high percentage looks in transition. You see the swooping jam by Cunningham.
And off the bench, it was really important for Bryce Williams and for Rondell Walker to do their thing. They are the triumvirate that led Oklahoma to that 18-2 run right in the middle of the first half.
Well, there's the evidence, the documentation of those runs. And when you have a high-volume possession game, there's going to be more runs, like 5 or 6. You got to win the majority of those runs. The rest of the game, you're trading baskets with opponents in 95% of the basketball games.
Marquette wins against Arkansas Pine Bluff and Eastern Illinois. Oklahoma State wins against UT Arlington and Texas Southern. So both clubs 2-0 early on in the season. Cade Cunningham had to sit on the bench for more time than he probably would have liked in that first half, picking up a couple of fouls. You see, he's got 6 points. Dawson Garcia, the other Ballyhoo freshman, just 4.
And what I like about those numbers is it shows the maturity of these freshmen. They don't have to keep launching rockets. They don't have to have a high volume number of shots to help their teams. And that shows good judgment and understanding they're under duress all year long. Teams are going to have the scouting report, you know, geared towards these two outstanding freshmen. So how you respond, that maturity is so important.
Marquette starts the second half the same way they started the game. Garcia with the basketball has his shot blocked away. Wonderful contest by Caleb Boone.
And I like the aggressiveness, but when you got the elbows down your tonsil, you've done your job, pass the ball.
Flavors the misfire from deep. And a foul going for the rebound called against Marquette.
And just going back to that point, Eric, it's a fine line. You want your, you know, central figures in your offense to be aggressive on their catches, but that doesn't mean they have to force it. They can look to spray the ball when they're heavy blanketed defensively.
Isaac Likely. Cunningham posting up down low, not open. They'll try again.
I like this idea. Your best decision maker, playmaker with the ball. Double team comes.
Keelan Boone, no, but an offensive rebound to Cunningham. Flavors. Had an off night shooting the basketball. Another offensive carom. Score the goal. Keelan Boone.
And a good start for Oregon State. Oregon State looks like it. Same colors. Oklahoma State. Transposing my conferences and my orange and black uniform teams.
The twins for Oklahoma State, Keelan and Caleb Boone, didn't score in that first half. That changes with the bucket just a moment ago.
When you're struggling some offensively, getting on the glass is a good way to generate some buckets, some points.
Torrance, no. Now Oklahoma State, the ball, a chance to regain the lead. Cunningham on the block. And before the shot, a foul on the floor. Foul is called on Jamal Cain. That's his second quick foul here in the second half.
Well, I like the execution against the double team. The dive by Boone and the read, the back dribble. And with the height that Cunningham has, he's able to deliver that pass inside to pick up the foul. He makes that look easy, so we just take it for granted. But that's why he's potentially the #1 pick in next year's draft.
Cunningham with the left hand had his shot blocked. Justin Lewis has come into the game quickly here in the second half for Marquette. Interesting, it was Lewis coming in for Garcia. Offensive rebound run down by Cain, likely trying to get it back, can't do it. McEwen, three-pointer. You betcha!
McEwen, an aspect of his game, he's showing in stretches the ability to knock down shots from distance. Utah State, early in his career, he shot the ball well from distance. Had some struggles last year, but appears more confident this season.
Likely everything but down. Interesting decision by Steve Wojciechowski to take out his freshman Dawson Garcia so early here in our second half. Lewis, elbow extended. Still loose. Finally cleared by Cunningham.
A good collective effort there on the boards by the Cowboys. All rallied to the basket area to help on the glass. We're going to see the help defense by Marquette, blocking Cunningham's shot, and then find the open man on offense. McEwen with the catch and shoot opportunity, a great look at the basket, splash it.
Cunningham has only attempted 1 3. He missed it. That was back early in the first half. Shot clock is down to 5. Likely. Hey! That shot wasn't likely to go in years past, but he's worked on the stroke, and he makes it a 1-point game.
Yeah, good ball movement. String music for Likely.
Likely made all of 3 3-pointers last season.
Well, Cunningham with that hockey pass as they play hot potato and transporting the ball quickly around the perimeter. Marquette slow to close out again. Too much airspace, and Likely makes them pay.
Likely had 3 3-pointers all last season. A year ago, he's already got 3 in 3 games this season. Steal by Cunningham leads to the assist, and Oklahoma State's back on top by a point. Give the field goal to Flavors.
Well, there's the way Cunningham can help you without scoring. We see the defense anticipation with the steal, and then excellent execution 2-on-1. Give it up.
Freshman on freshman. Lewis shaded by Cunningham. John sets a screen for McEwen. Good contested rebound. Lewis had his shot blocked from behind. It was Boone. Push ahead. Likely. Pass in tight quarters goes off the noggin of Cunningham.
Well, good anticipation like a defensive back. Cunningham seizes on it. Give it up. Sharing the sugar in the break. Timeout.
College Hoops is sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. Now the worm has turned. Oklahoma State now leads Marquette by 1, and maybe the Golden Eagles had one too many bratwursts at halftime. They're just 1 for 9, Coach Lav, shooting in the second half.
It has been a game of streaks and runs.
Let's see if Dawson Garcia can get back into this game anytime soon. He only played the first about a minute and a half of our second half and then was lifted. He's not in foul trouble. He's only got 1 foul, but he's still on the bench. DJ Carton has come into the game. Sophomore transfer from Ohio State. He'll run the point. This is Carton.
See Marquette against this zone defense trying to get someone to the high post and someone under the basket. Got to get the defense shifted. Shot fake's important, pass fakes, little misdirection. Here's a screen at the top of the zone, a release. Got a baseline runner. I got a number of actions. Good look over the top of the skip pass.
Shot clock's down to 2. McEwen has to fire. Grazes the front of the iron. Cunningham. They've been trying to post him up earlier. This time a pull-up. Upset with himself.
He hasn't found the rhythm, but to his credit, he's not forcing. But let's give Marquette some credit for not allowing him to find that flow or rhythm offensively.
Freshman Lewis. Now Lewis the post up. And a whistle. Was it on the shot or was it before the gather?
I love Lewis's choices, making winning plays. It was off of his pass on the diagonal that led to this foul. Lewis gives you a little bit of everything. I had a player named Don Pointer. We called him the Swiss Army knife. We called him Costco because he'd give you whatever you needed on defense or offense. And Lewis has the opportunity to grow into one of those players that can influence the game both offensively and defensively. And I love his intelligence and decision-making.
Was a winner at high school. He was a three-time Maryland State champion. Coming the other way, Rondell Walker, who was the goods in the first half, misses from distance. Nobody stopped the ball. And it's lost. And it goes over to Oklahoma State. Kobe McEwen saying, what the heck happened there? Got hit right in the schnoz.
You take another look at it. Attacking the rim aggressively. That's a hard play on the ball. Looked like the old Pistons and Celtics. Or the Bulls and Pistons. Boston and L.A.
McEwen's from Toronto, Ontario, and he's saying to himself, I didn't play hockey because I didn't want to get hit like that.
That's why it's important to have a mouthpiece. Protect those chiclets, protect those teeth.
Still no Dawson Garcia for Marquette as we've gone under the 15-minute mark. Turnover. And wow, the ball just dribbled off of Flavor's foot. Opportunity for Oklahoma State. Cunningham with the left hand. Woo! Big time.
There's that ease again, the fluidity, the body control.
Cade Cunningham from Arlington, Texas, spent 2 years in high school playing at Mount Verdi Academy. A lot of great players to come out of there, that's for sure.
Legendary coach Kevin Boyle, originally from the tri-state area.
Again, the shot clock dips below 5. This has been a theme for Marquette. Carton's going to have to do something. Didn't get it all. Oh, and they're going to call a foul. DJ Carton got bailed out.
Looks as though Cunningham got him on the arm. Might have been a slight tap, not a hard foul. But could build the case that that affects a shot.
So was he fouled before the shot clock expired? Yeah, Marquette's playing with fire. They're letting that shot clock go way down, and officials are going to take a look to see whether or not this foul was indeed legit. Take a look at the shot clock at the top of your screen. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic call. Remember, that was made with the naked eye by these officials.
Well, it's also important to find out who's the foul on. Is it Walker or Cunningham? Because both took a whack at the ball. If you're Oklahoma State, you're hoping it's Walker.
And it is indeed on Walker. That's the second foul on the freshman. So DJ Carton to the line out of Bettendorf, Iowa. The smallest of the Quad Cities. You got Moline, you got Rock Island. You've got Davenport, and you've got Bettendorf. Those are your Quad Cities right there along the Mississippi River, Old Man River.
More geographical nuggets.
How about Mr. Basketball Nuggets? DJ Carton, Mr. Basketball in Iowa. You got Rafe LaFrentz. You got Fred Hoiberg, the mayor at Ames High School. You got Harrison Barnes not that long ago. And how about these two names? They shared it in 1999. Nick Collison and Kirk Heinrich.
You and I can win some ball games coaching that group.
1 point ball game. Oklahoma State the lead in the ball. Cunningham to Walker. Still no Dawson Garcia for Marquette. Rebounded in traffic, Theo John.
Now, important here when you're playing against a set defense to not force. And that's something that DJ, all young guards, have to learn. Stay aggressive, but once you're facing a set defense, put some touches on it, initiate our offense, get right into the flow of things. Now, if it's open court, scattered court, you get an edge or an angle, yeah, take it to the hole. But once a team is back, now we got to get touches, get organized.
Matthew Alexander Moncrief into the game for Oklahoma State. He wears number 12. Walker. Pinned. Nice block by Theo John. And Marquette, can they clear? Nope, it stays with Oklahoma State.
Well, a double contest there by John and Lewis, both in pursuit. Lewis from behind. And John for good measure. Wow, they both get a piece. Well, that's why Marquette's leading the country in field goal percentage defense.
Likely straight to the 10.
Well, that's an example. Likely with his head up, surveying the floor and making a good judgment. It opens up, take it to the hoop.
Marquette's gone cold. They have made just one field goal here in the second half. That was a three-pointer by McEwen. A whole bunch of nothing since. Well, take that away. DJ Carton to the rack and scores.
Good take. And a sound approach against that Cowboy zone. Big gaps and lanes, find them, drive it.
Up and down, Bryce Williams. He has been fantastic off the bench.
And feeling it. As the game has gone along, you can see his confidence. He's moving a little gingerly there.
He's got 11 points in 13 minutes. 3 out of 4 from distance. Marquette down 4. Shot clock again, below 5. John's going to have to fire. And the pass goes out of bounds.
Eric Williams lining them up from long range. Hand down. Bottoms.
Oklahoma State now leads by 4 over Marquette. They've done a fantastic job defensively of limiting Marquette to just 2 field goals in the first 8 minutes of our second half. And how about Bryce Williams off the bench?
Yeah, the unexpected contributor as this game has gone along. We've seen the defense, the open court opportunities here. Nice gather to get his balance and put one down. And then from long range, the sniper showing his marksmanship. And that bucket gets a little bit bigger every time you see the ball go through the net. And give his Cowboy teammates credit to continue to go back to him, showing the confidence.
All right, both precocious freshmen back in the game. Kate Cunningham running the point for Oklahoma State. Dawson Garcia, who got a long rest, back in the game for Marquette. And the rip away. Nice defense played. Greg Elliott, first playing time of the ball game.
That's making the most of your opportunity. Get in there, dig down on defense, come up with a steal.
Carton, Elliott, Garcia, McEwen, and John, the 5 for Marquette. And it's going to go back over to Oklahoma State.
Kobe McEwen, second personal, 13 foul. Checking in for the Cowboys, 13.
Now you're going to get this with a 19-year-old freshman. Garcia, 19-16 in terms of points in the first 2 games of the year. But tonight, competition stepped up a bit. He's only got 4 points.
Yeah, and there's more film and more time in terms of the drum roll, the skull sessions, scouting reports, walkthroughs, and being ready to give him different looks and not allow him to get comfortable offensively. And it's paid dividends tonight for the Cowboys.
Caleb Boone, rim glass rim it in. Opportunity for a 3-point play.
Boone down low with the length. Again, takes his time. The back down dribbles. Protects the ball. And puts it off the window.
Sophomore from Tulsa, Oklahoma. This free throw would give Oklahoma State a 7-point lead.
Let's see if Marquette can solve the riddle. Here's that 2-2-1 press back into his zone. And Marquette has tried different concepts in terms of screening the top of that zone. Here it is again with Garcia. Then he drops back into the high post area, trying to get a catch there, attacking the corners here.
Elliott, the teardrop along the baseline. And it's going to go back over to Oklahoma State again. Nope, I apologize. It was Elliott who was fouled. Can't be easy to sit the entire first half like Greg Elliott did and then be asked to come in when your team's down and needs something. But he has done it both defensively and now offensively.
Like a pinch hitter in baseball. You know, you've got to be ready when called upon. You've been in the cooler on ice.
Checking in for Oklahoma State, number 12, Matthew Alexander Moncrief. Returning from Marquette, 23, Jamal Kane.
Boone goes to the bench. He's replaced by Matthew Alexander Moncrief. 3 points, 4 fouls on Caleb Boone, so he's being protected. Elliott makes a pair. Nice job. He's a veteran. He's been in the program for a while. Redshirt junior from Detroit. Walker. Likely. Hit a three a moment ago. This time decides to pass it out. And Walker can't get it over the front of the iron. Loose. Last touched by Marquette.
Yeah. Cowboys just a tad more aggressive here in the second half against Marquette. And Marquette just a step slow. Seeing a more confident Cowboy team.
Curl pass. Cunningham is bumped off of his path. And that foul is on John. It's his fourth.
Boy, big foul. A great baseline out of bounds execution there for Cunningham, and the delivery by Likely. That's a nice tandem play and catch, and Cunningham able to pick up the foul.
So 4 fouls on John. See how much trust Steve Wojciechowski will have. I'd imagine he's coming out. Theo John is a senior, has played a whole bunch of basketball for Marquette, but with 9 minutes and change remaining in the game, that'd be a gutsy decision to keep him on the floor. They actually called a technical.
Fifth personal foul.
Oh. Well, what a sequence. Am I on this one, or is this one busted too?
So the technical foul gives an opportunity for the free throw to go in. It was because John tapped the ball out of the net. And so an extra point for Oklahoma State when they've already got a lead. They lead by 6. Williams. Oh, that would have been disastrous for Marquette. Shot misses the mark, and here comes the Golden Eagles. Only down by 6. And McEwen misses. Elliott. Tough pass. Wonderful job by Cunningham. He was out of bounds. Good instincts. You can see there's a lot to work with there with Cunningham, but he was out of bounds when he tapped the basketball. Didn't reestablish inbounds.
Let's see here if Marquette, who's been a bit discombobulated, can get back in to some flow. Not easy without Theo John in the game.
Walker knocks it away. Garcia. Offensive rebound, and Kane is tied up. It'll be a jump ball. And possession arrow favors Oklahoma State.
Just a tenacious, stout Cowboy defense. And they do it with their length and quickness. They're well deployed in terms of their help defense.
Likely. Contested shot comes up empty. Elliott one and done. Numbers for Oklahoma State. This is a 4-on-1. And they have to back it out.
Well, good choice. They had the layup. Once you don't have it, get organized.
Theo John on the bench for Marquette. He's got 4 fouls. He has not fouled out. John is on the bench with 4 fouls, and maybe he could have been a factor on that, but he's not there to contest it, and it goes through for Moncrief.
Moncrief, good footwork, very comfortable on that spin and finish. Cowboys, a lot of options. Moncrief, one bounce, gathers, soft touch, big fella.
Early on, Take a look at the top 10. Gonzaga, Baylor, and then a couple of, make it 3 Big Ten teams, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois has been phenomenal, in particular offensively. 98 points per game over their first 3. So Brad Underwood, known as a defensive coach, but showing that they can play with the pedal to the metal at a high-octane pace as well.
Of course, Brad Underwood at Oklahoma State. When he left, Mike Boynton got the opportunity. Marquette down by 8. Under 8 to play. Where's the offense going to come from? Just 2 for 15 shooting the basketball here in the second half. And again, shot clock winding down. Coach, I got to ask you, what's the deal here? Are they just trying to be patient? Can they not find anything? You're going to have some time to think about that. We've got a commercial. When we come back, Deep Thoughts with Steve Lavin. Welcome back, FS1 College Hoops, sponsored by Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep, there's only one. Steve Wojciechowski's team down by 8. And Steve, I asked you before the commercial break, what's going on with the offense for Marquette?
Well, it's been a bit of a riddle, and obviously Theo John with foul trouble compounds matters, but Oklahoma State in this zone is able to cover the three-point line with their length and quickness. They're rotating well off of dribble penetration. They're protecting the rim as well, and so that's why Jim Boeheim's had success through the years. When you look at personnel, if it's a good fit, then it's incumbent upon the coach to show some flexibility. And I think it's caught Marquette off guard a little bit here and really rattled or unnerved them. They haven't been in a flow this entire second half.
Offensive rebound, Boone with the left hand. Caleb Boone makes it a 10-point lead for Oklahoma State.
But the aggressiveness is what really jumps out. Cowboys here, they're now trapping at half court. Excellent area to run the trap. You've got the sideline, the half court line there. Again,
too aggressive by Oklahoma State.
Yeah, it's an alert, aggressive, and we're seeing it not only on their defense with the high hands, the rotations, but also with the offensive boards. Remember, it was 8-0 at half in terms of second chance points, and now Oklahoma State's turned the tables. They're getting on the glass for high percentage opportunities inside.
And Steve Wojciechowski can't wait any longer. He brings Theo John back into the game. The senior John playing with 4 fouls. Critical moment in the game.
And 30-14 in the paint. Cowboys edge over Marquette.
DJ Carton also back into the game. Gets in the paint. Was bumped off his course. No foul. And again, a shot with the shot clock winding down for Marquette.
A good swarm. Both these teams will be watching game film tomorrow with their coaches and reviewing what went into the turnovers, what they can improve upon and remedy in terms of passing, catching, reading defense, making better decisions.
Catch and shoot. Oh, that was needed. Jamal Cain hits the triple.
And Garcia with an excellent pass, got the catch in the high post area where he can shoot it, drive it, or play make as he did in that situation.
Just the 3rd field goal for Marquette in the second half. They're 3 for 17 shooting the basketball. Cunningham. Cade Cunningham rises and rips.
Boy, that's why he's a future pro. The poise, and again, the fluidity, just the ease, how gracefully he puts the ball on the floor and is able to get to a kill spot to knock a shot down.
12 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist for Cunningham. McEwen is fouled.
When Cunningham gets the ball, Mike Boynton could take a deep breath, understanding his gifts and abilities. And again, he makes it look easy, but he's in his 3rd game as a college basketball player and able to maneuver, get under control, and end up taking a high percentage shot.
2 free throws for McEwen. For those of you wondering about Cade Cunningham's outside shot, he's only taken 1 3-pointer today, and he missed it. First 2 games, he did make 3. He's 3 for 7 from behind the arc. So that's something he can do. But as we've seen, he likes to and is effective posting up. He's got a mid-range game. There are other things to like besides just outside marksmanship.
Yeah, the decision-making and a high-level processor, basketball IQ, and truly an extension of the coaching staff on the floor. And as a coach, it gives you confidence when you have a player like Cunningham on the court.
Cunningham lost it. Last touch by McEwen.
That was a good look there by Oklahoma State. They kind of lifted Marquette's defense and allowed that driving lane for Cunningham.
Bounce pass to Cunningham. Now likely a turn.
That's the second time we've seen Oklahoma State basically run a flex offense cut off their baseline out of bounds plays. It led to the fourth foul on Theo John earlier this half. Here they pick up a foul again. Little interior screening as well. A lot of wrinkles off of this alignment. Turnover's not what they want.
Fair and Flavors. So Marquette down 7. Still over 5 minutes to work with. Big 12 Big East battle. Carton. John. McEwen.
Well, once again, that zone defense. Marquette with no answer, but Cowboys just tied together. Fast, high hands.
Flavors had a tough night shooting the basketball. McEwen, Euro step, lead for Carton. Everything but down. Carton's now 0 for 3 from behind the arc. Cunningham taking matters into his own hands. I think he realized that Marquette had committed 6 team fouls and that Oklahoma State will be in the bonus for the rest of the game.
Yeah, aggressive. Put it on the deck. Attack the defender's feet. He had an angle, cupped the ball to protect it and pick up that foul.
One and one for Cunningham. He is a guy who's got a lot of measurables. 6'8", 220 pounds. They say his wingspan is 7 feet 2 inches. They say his hands are 10.5 inches. I've never measured my hands, but 10.5 is supposed to be massive.
Oscar Robinson, Dr. J, Magic, some of the best in the history of the game. They make the ball look like a tangerine, like Nerf basketball.
1 out of 2 for Cunningham. Marquette's got to start to get their offense in gear, and they turn it over. Wonderful decision. Cunningham finds Walker. Score it, and he's fouled.
Well, how about Walker absorbing the hit? Wiry strength, able to get the finish. Defense creating offense. Shutouts lead to runouts. DJ Carton trying to force putting that ball on the floor, and it gives the Cowboys another opportunity here for the old-fashioned three-point play. He hung on the rim there a little bit to protect himself.
I've been impressed with Rondell Walker. They call that a flagrant 1. So score the goal, add the free throw, and another free throw coming, and possession of the ball.
Boy, another big play, big call goes in Oklahoma State's favor.
All right, so that's already a 4-point possession.
They've had a couple of those. Impressed and talking to Coach Boynton today, weren't you, Eric?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
A number of influences.
Just 38 years of age, but he has basically worked for every coach under the sun.
Brad Underwood, Dave Odom, Eddie Fogler, Darren Horn, Larry Davis, Buzz Peterson. Gives a lot of credit to his high school coach, a legend, Bob Leckie, Bishop Laughlin, Brooklyn, New York.
You had me at Buzz Peterson. That's all I needed to hear. He knows what he's doing if he worked with Buzz Peterson.
Absolutely.
That was in Coastal Carolina.
Front office now. Front office with the Charlotte Hornets.
Sure.
Now.
Big time. All right, Marquette still got a pulse, but they got to figure it out in a hurry. They're down 12. They've been offensively challenged here in the second half. Just 14 points in the first 16 minutes of the second half. Kobe McEwen to the line.
Well, Early in the season, you can face a zone like Oklahoma State where they cover so much ground. They can drop inside like ninjas, like a Venus flytrap, and protect the rim, but they're quick enough to sprint back out. Like an accordion, this defense can extend and collapse, and they're tied together. They're communicating. A lot of man-to-man principles are in play within their zone defense in terms of ball pressure, jumping to the ball, early help, and one and done. They're rebounding well out of their zone. They're all dropping back in, rallying to the ball. Guards are in there to help rebound as well.
Last foul on Caleb Boone. Fouls out Boone. He finishes with 5 points, 5 turnovers, and 5 personal fouls. Fives are wild in Milwaukee on a Tuesday night. And likely some bully ball gets called for it. Offensive foul. Marquette has it back, down by 10.
Can't get away with that forearm shiver, a little Red Grange. There's a name for the pass.
Oklahoma State leads Marquette by 10. They say the defense travels. Well, it has. From Stillwater to Milwaukee. How about the Cowboys doing it on D?
Well, like a plumber. They're just tightening the pipes, shutting Marquette's water off, and they're doing it with defensive discipline. There's purpose, also passion. This group is hungry. You can see the aggressiveness really taking it to Marquette here in the second half. Still time for the Golden Eagles to respond. But to this point, the shutouts lead to runouts, high percentage finishes, and Oklahoma State has just dominated this second half. It's now time for Marquette to punch back.
29-16, Oklahoma State with a 13-point stiff arm on the Golden Eagles since intermission. Marquette's got the ball, still with time. 3 minutes and change left.
It's interesting, that soft pressure is just to take some time off the clock and allow Marquette less time to get organized and face this zone defense. And it's a defense that Marquette's not familiar with.
Big shot, McEwen can't hit it. Tapped around by John, and it is Marquette basketball. Theo John has to be careful. He's been playing with 4 fouls since the 9-minute mark.
And you can play through John. Doesn't mean he has to shoot the ball or force it, but let him get touches, try and collapse this defense, kick it back out. Maybe you get yourself to the foul line as well. There's a good look.
Beautiful bounce pass. McEwen finds Kane.
Dribble penetration, nice little jump stop, and the pocket pass to the cutting Kane.
Three minutes to play. Likely starts the offense. Let's see if they put Cunningham down to the block. Off the curl. Cunningham had the ball poked away. The other freshman, Dawson Garcia, comes up with a loose ball. Here comes Marquette. Corner 3. Missed opportunity. That would have been huge for Marquette.
Yeah, good dig out there. Cunningham, an assist on the boards.
Cunningham taking some time off the game clock. Moncrief, the post up now, decides to set a screen for Likely. Moncrief. He likes to put it up there. McEwen. Offensive foul. Oh, the senior got hit in the face and gets called for the foul.
Well, again, game film tomorrow. I have to take again a look on the block charge call. Bang, bang, tough to do. But Likely there. Gets back.
Oh, that's a knee that he took to his face.
Likely was moving as we... Looks like he's okay.
Offensive foul on Marquette, number 25, Kobe McEwen. 4th personal.
That's now the 4th personal foul on McEwen, and the ball goes back over to Oklahoma State.
And there's an example, what Coach Boynton talked about with Likely, about his toughness and his intelligence, and that's on display.
Cunningham contested. We've gone under 2 minutes.
Well, still time when you look at time and score, but you got to get shutouts.
John got a piece of that. Likely.
How about the pass from Cunningham? Just throws a fastball, a precise dart, right inside to Likely, who's comfortable playing inside. One of the better finishers of the Cowboys. See the block right to Cunningham. How about the intelligence, the surgical strike?
Hey, take a look at Cunningham's numbers, and they're starting to become impressive. He's got 13 points on 6 of 11 shooting, so he's shooting over 50%. He's got 6 rebounds. He's got 2 assists. He's got 3 steals. He's got a block shot.
Well, and
Cunningham has looked the part of a guy who could be a one and done.
Yeah, and they're winning plays here, swooping in for the jam in transition. But again, the unusual maturity for a freshman. I love the change of direction, the gather, the lefty hook after the pirouette. And again, working the angles, gathering a high release over the top, 6'8", able to finish over smaller defenders. And even that last play with the pass to Likely, a less mature player launches one from the 3. But instead, he sees an open man playing to win and shares the ball for the high percentage look. And that's just intelligence on the move.
Marquette needs to hurry. Down 10. Torrance directing traffic and nobody moving around. Shot clock is down to 5. Garcia lost it. And that was not the possession that Marquette wanted out of the timeout.
No,
down 10, and you get 27 seconds worth of offense with no shot on goal.
Yeah, this second half has been about Oklahoma State in every regard. Offensive rebounding, transition baskets, an excellent defense, good decision-making, a balanced approach. And Marquette, conversely, just discombobulated, disjointed. They don't appear tied together, and this zone has really thrown them for a loop. But they'll work on it and get better for their next game. This is how you learn.
So the possession arrow keeps it with Marquette, but only 3 seconds to shoot.
Boy, good help, good defensive discipline to not foul, and another run out.
Good job by Garcia to block that away from Likely. So a quick possession for Oklahoma State, getting nothing out of it. Kane stripped on the way up, gets it back. Big shot, McEwen. Needed that.
There you go.
They were on life support, but maybe now Marquette still with a chance.
Oh, we take a look. Good decision by Kane. He senses the crowd and knows the math is favorable somewhere else. So give it up, find the open man, and it pays dividends.
7-point game. That's just the 5th made field goal for Marquette here in the second half. They're 5 for 25 shooting the basketball.
And in the math here, you got to set your full court pressure. Try and get a 5-second call. You might have a trap or 2 in the backcourt, but you can't let Oklahoma State run down the clock. So at some point now in timeouts, they already know who they're going to foul if they don't get something immediately off the inbound pass in terms of forcing a turnover.
So it's going to be a dangerous time for Theo John. He's on the floor with 4 fouls. Also, Kobe McEwen on the floor with 4 fouls. If they're asked to commit the foul, that means they're asking themselves to come out of the game.
And Marquette's just trying to extend this game, create more possessions by being able to try and get a stop or commit a foul quickly if you're not able to get that quick foul.
And Kane is the man who commits the foul. It's a double bonus situation, so 2 free throws for Oklahoma State. It's Matthew Alexander Moncrief.
Well, here's how you salt victories away. Step the charity stripe and knock down free throws. And conversely, if you don't knock down free throws, you allow a team possessions to come back in a game.
Moncrief, known as a fantastic athlete, is a not good free throw shooter. He's 2 for 10 on the season. 3 for 11.
Just improved his percentage. 1 of 2.
Doesn't take much to improve when you're 2 for 9 to begin the game.
And I like the full court press, even with the lead, understanding time, score, and clock.
Long 2 for McEwen. Short, rebounded by John. And he throws it away. Foul in the backcourt, and Bryce Williams will shoot free throws.
And Marquette struggled against the zone defense tonight, but in fairness to Coach Wojciechowski, the interrupted, disjointed, lead up to this season because of the pandemic is an example of not being able to have the quality of scrimmages, the quality of exhibition games, all the dress rehearsals or practices that go into the way your team performs. And in particular, when they're retooling this year after losing Marcus Howard, Sakara Annam, veteran players, and they have some new pieces here. They have a bright future, and they'll learn from this report card because this zone defense stymied them. And it's not like Steve Wojciechowski hasn't seen zone defenses before, but for a group of young players, it can be really troubling.
Torrance has to fire. Johnny on the spot, Jamal Kane. So it's now an 8-point game. 26.2 remaining. Well, the next outing for Marquette will be Friday against Wisconsin, and that will be a test. Then you got Green Bay, the Phoenix, UCLA, and Creighton, both on the road, December 11th and December 14th.
Well, that's the gauntlet. We talked about the zone attack, but also 24 turnovers for Marquette. You don't have to look much further than that because those are empty possessions where you're not even getting a shot on the rim or giving yourself a chance to get fouled.
For Oklahoma State, Mike Boynton's bunch. They've got Oakland, the Grizzlies, Oral Roberts, Wichita State, and TCU. One of Mike Boynton's assistants, Scott Sutton, longtime head coach at Oral Roberts. That'll be an interesting scout for him.
Yeah, legendary coaching family. The late Eddie Sutton, of course, was his father, who coached at Oklahoma State, coached at Kentucky, coached at Arkansas, going way back. College of Southern Idaho. His father also coached at Creighton. So good bloodlines there.
McEwen, some window dressing. And a timeout called. 8-point game, 18.2 remaining. McEwen now with 19 points. That actually leads either side, but he hadn't had much help at all, as the Marquette Golden Eagles offense over the past couple of years has been their strength, not so much tonight. That 60 points is usually a number they don't see after 40 minutes.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It takes time to gel, build chemistry, and there's a transitional period. They stepped up against competition tonight, and they'll learn from it and get better.
Now, this is a nice slate of games. You look at the Big 12 Big East battle, and some good ones. Look at West Virginia and Georgetown just right off the shoot, and DePaul, Iowa State. I'll take all of that stuff.
Yeah, Villanova continuing to play a rugged schedule, and that's how Jay Wright has peaked his teams. Tom Izzo, a number of coaches in the country that understand. Now, this year it's a little bit different because of the pandemic circumstances, but the selection committee will be looking at a smaller sample size, but you'll still be rewarded for getting those quality wins and for challenging yourself, even if you lose a game, but you're trying to play good competition. Easier said than done, given all the unique variables. The selection committee has never had a more difficult job in the history of the NCAA tournament than they'll have this year, trying to sort this all out.
Well, the battle of the freshmen, we talked about it beginning of the game. It was a big reason why so many people across the country were excited about this game. Cade Cunningham taking on Dawson Garcia, and you'd have to say that you give the advantage to Cunningham. He has done a bit of everything, 13, 6, and 2 in 30 minutes, while Dawson Garcia, 26 minutes of a lot of frustration. Only 4 points on 2 of 9 shooting, only 2 rebounds for the 6'11 forward.
And the efficiency of Cunningham, only 3 turnovers, as you mentioned, helped on the boards with 6, 3 steals, so helping defensively. And I like the fact he doesn't force. So often with an outstanding freshman that comes in with the accolades, they're taking 20, 21 shots. He does it more surgically with more precision, and there's an airtight efficiency to his game, and that's what leads to him being the projected #1 pick in next year's NBA draft.
Also knows how to finish off a game. He had a whole phalanx of defenders around him, just decided to keep it so he'd get fouled and get a couple of cheapies at the free throw line and add to his point total. 15-point game looks a lot different than 13.
Well, and the beauty of college basketball is, unlike college football, 1 or 2 losses don't destroy your opportunity at a national championship. You can lose some games and still recover and play your best late in the year and have a chance at cutting down the nets.
Torrance follow and stick back, and that may be the final shot of the ball game. 8-point lead for Oklahoma State. Running clock, and that will do it. Oklahoma State, they come to Milwaukee and they defeat Marquette. They have dominated the series over the years. Oklahoma State now leads 5-1 in 6 all-time meetings between the two schools. So really impressive performance by Oklahoma State to go on the road and get a W.
Well, high marks for the Cowboys. Tough zone defense, 3-quarter court, full court press, and offensively shared the ball, got high percentage looks, and it leads to a big-time W, Eric.
Oklahoma State a win. For Steve Lavin, I'm Eric Collins saying goodnight.